I'm Nurse Amy, and I'm from Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy's Doom and Bloom show. We have a podcast on Mondays at 9 p.m. that lasts for 90 minutes, where we talk about urban homesteading, medical topics, and everything for preppers, because we want you to be prepared in case something happens. Today we're going to look at our garden. Now, I have grown quite a few container plants, and I've showed you some videos of how to do some of them, but I just wanted to give you an overview of some of the things that I have growing on my patio. Now, here in front of you, we have banana peppers. These are the common banana peppers that you find in the stores that are usually marinated in some vinegar. And I've done the same thing in my refrigerator, but I use some honey and vinegar and some water and let them marinate, and they're actually quite tasty. I've picked quite a few of them, as you can see here. And if you let them stay on your plant, they'll turn from a beautiful green to a pretty yellow, and then an orange, and this lovely bright red. So when you're marinating them, if you leave some of them on, you can get some rainbow colors. So it makes a really nice relish for different kinds of foods. So I have hot peppers here. Behind me I have, looking back, several Heirloom Tomatoes, and they're going crazy. I have probably in this container down here about 13 plants in here. Now, I do not recommend this. I had planted several varieties of heirloom tomatoes, and I could not bear the thought of not putting them in the containers and just letting them sit and rot. So I overplanted this. Now, to compensate for that, I water at least once a day, if not twice a day. I add lots and lots of fertilizer, and I keep a good eye on them. When this fruit is ripe, you need to get it off, or the plant will continue to put its energy towards growing that fruit and not giving you more blooms. So I keep this well picked, well watered, and well fertilized. So if you're going to overplant, make sure you do that. I do have a trellis in here, which is kind of difficult to see, but these plants need support. They're indeterminate, so they're going to continue to grow and grow despite the container size. So you have to give them some support, and plus it keeps them away from each other and gives them each some sunlight. And going back here, I have started some peas. These are green arrow peas, and I'm letting this tomato plant grow in here because I figured the peas can use the tomato plant to grow up because they like to grow around different plants. So I'm kind of letting this be a companion plant. Here's some more heirloom tomatoes. You can see some of these yellow ones. And I have picked quite a few of the yellow ones, which you can see underneath the peppers. And they are incredible for production. So if you want a lot of tomatoes, go ahead and plant the little ones. You'll get hundreds and hundreds, and they're quite sweet. Right here I have some giant carrots. Now, these carrots are called flock, F-L-A-K-K-E, and they grow to be about 10 to 12 inches long and about 3 or 4 inches wide, so they're quite huge. And I think this one's going to be my biggest one here, and it's growing quite well. It did get aphids, and I have let go some ladybugs on this patio, which I'm sure I'm going to be able to show you on the potatoes, and they are eating the aphids. Now, another thing I use for aphids is neem oil and insecticide soap. I also sprayed a couple days ago hydrogen peroxide straight with a little bit of insecticide soap in it to give it a nice little soapy feel to it. And those are going to suffocate and kill those aphids. And what I did last night was let go some more ladybugs, so between the two of them I think I'm going to be good. Right here we have some jalapeno peppers. They're still babies, but they're growing well, and I think they appreciate a little bit of the shade. If you see underneath here, this one's actually doing better than this one, and it's underneath the tomato plant and growing up. So those are jalapenos. Over here, you've seen the video, hopefully, of the grow bag potatoes, and these things are crazy. I'll take off my heels. I'm 5'5". I think it's my height or higher now. And I had to put a trellis around this one because otherwise they would just flop over, which is what some of the other plants did. Let's see if we can find a ladybug here. Here we go. Make sure you focus on that. Okay, never mind. Well, anyway, there are ladybugs all over these. You might want to back up. It's probably going to be a little blurry. Alright, so anyway, these are my grow bag potatoes. Coming over here, I have butter beans, soybeans. That's what these are. And they don't really need a lot of support. They'll just sort of flop over and grow as high as they can. And when they get the soybeans, they'll be a little bit heavy. But you don't need to give those a lot of support because they don't get very big. I have some peppermint and lemon balm. I have some parsley. This is another carrot. And this one is called Tender Sweet. And these are growing really well. You can see the greenery is nice and big and they're growing lovely. I have some marjoram, some thyme underneath here, and this is sage. I have some onions in here that I've been growing. This is May. These have been in here since July of last year, and they're getting quite large, and I think they're going to be ready soon. Now, onions are ready when the greenery dies back, which I'll show you some onions that are ready. That's when your onions are ready. So that's what you have to look at. So until they're ready, just fertilize and water. Eventually they'll die back and they'll show you that they're ready. Now let's go over here. Okay, let's go to the beans. These are pole snap beans, and this variety is called Garden of Eden. And you can see the beans here. What you do is just pick them off, steam them, boil them, and you have green beans. This was a little yellow. I think it needed some water, so I'll put those right here till we're done. Behind me are some tomato plants that have been growing since August of last year. Again, this is May, so they've been doing this for quite a while. These indeterminates, if you have a warm weather climate, they won't die. So they'll just keep growing. So make sure you keep watering them, you keep picking the fruit, and you keep fertilizing them appropriately. And you will continue to get blossoms and tomatoes forever. Okay, now the cucumbers, not looking so good. However, I do have a lot of females, and I have been taking some cucumbers off here. You can see the new leaves are looking fresh. I did treat these with neem oil, and now I have the ladybugs in case there's any white flies on them. But I believe this is a powdery mildew, and the best thing to treat this is with a fungicide. So you can use the neem oil, you can use organicide, or you can use a baking soda spray, which is the last thing I've tried. And some of this white stuff is the baking soda spray. When it dries, it gives you that baking soda feel. But underneath here, quite a few female flowers. Oh, here's a baby cucumber starting to grow. And as the water absorbs in here, this will enlarge. Okay, back over here is a Swiss chard, and I planted rainbow light, or bright light, Swiss chard. And you can see these are beautiful colors. There's a pink, a red, and a yellow. See those pretty colors? And this is doing quite well. You have to be careful with aphids on this because they'll eat it alive. So make sure you keep a nice insecticide spray in here. Again, I use neem oil, and this has been working quite well for me. You can see it's not too badly eaten. And this will get quite large, and when these are big enough, you can eat those just like spinach. I have some strawberries over here in just a minute, but this is Nurse Amy showing you half of my patio. Stay tuned for part 2 where you can see the rest of my container, screened in patio, prepper survival garden. Thank you.